Hello, mic check.
Hello, mic check. Check, check, mic check.
Mic check. Every milestone begins with a dream, every achievement with determination, and every success with the courage to begin. A very good morning to everyone present here. On behalf of Dalmia Institute of Management Studies and Research, I, Stuti Sanghvi, and my co-host Neha and Philip extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to our esteemed dignitaries on the days. I also welcome all the teaching and non-teaching staff present here.
The heartiest welcome is reserved for the stars of the day. The students of PGDM and Global MBA Batch of 2026-28. We welcome you all to the Dalmia Parivar.
Dear all, let me take this opportunity to welcome our esteemed guest of honor, Mr. Mangalam Malu, anchor and deputy editor, CNBC TV 18, and most importantly, our alumnus of batch 2010 to 2012. May I request Seema ma'am to present a bouquet as a token of appreciation. Thank you, ma'am.
Today is not merely the beginning of another academic year. It marks the commencement of a transformative journey, one that will shape future leaders, innovators, entrepreneurs, and professionals who will leave a meaningful impact on the world.
Dalmia Institute of Management Studies and Research has for 3 decades stood as a symbol of academic excellence, innovation, and industry-oriented management education. Established with the vision of nurturing ethical, competent, and socially responsible leaders, the Institute has consistently empowered students with knowledge, values, and practical exposure required to excel in today's dynamic business environment. As we embark on this new chapter, remember that the next 2 years are not merely about earning a management degree. They are about discovering your potential, embracing challenges, building lifelong relationships, and preparing yourself to lead with confidence and integrity.
Today's ceremony is a celebration of new beginnings. It is an occasion to welcome every student into and to reaffirm towards learning, excellence, innovation, and leadership. Over the course of your journey here, you will be guided by exceptional faculties, inspired by accomplished industry leaders, challenged through rigorous academics, and supported by a vibrant community that believes in helping every individual realize their fullest potential. Today marks the first step of that remarkable journey.
As is our cherished tradition, we begin every auspicious occasion by invoking the blessings of the Almighty and seeking the divine grace of Goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of wisdom, knowledge, and learning. May I now request our esteemed dignitaries to kindly come forward for the ceremonial lamp lighting, symbolizing the triumph of knowledge over ignorance and the beginning of this new academic journey.
Thank you. I now request everyone present to kindly rise for the Saraswati Vandana.
Please be seated. As we begin this momentous celebration, let us first recognize the leadership whose vision, dedication, and unwavering support have laid the foundation for PGDM and Global MBA Batch 2026-28. Education is the noblest investment in a nation's future. This profound belief of late Shri Niranjan Lalji Dalmia, profoundly remembered as Babuji, became the guiding philosophy behind a remarkable educational journey. In 1982, Babuji laid the foundation of the Anil Dalmia Educational Society with a vision far beyond brick and mortar to create an institution that would nurture globally competent, ethical business leaders. Deeply rooted in his values of integrity, knowledge, and social progress, Anil Dalmia Institute of Management Studies and Research began its academic journey in 1995. Carrying forward Babuji's enduring legacy of integrity, excellence, and service, Shri Shiv Kumarji Dalmia, Chairman of Anil Dalmia Educational Society, has been unwavering in his commitment to transforming his father's vision into reality. Sir has consistently championed quality, value-based education, empowering young minds, nurturing their hidden potential, and creating an environment where future leaders can thrive with knowledge, character, and a strong sense of social responsibility. Demonstrating an unwavering commitment to fairness, transparency, and academic excellence, Sir took the landmark decision to voluntarily relinquish the management quota, ensuring that the admissions to our institute are purely based on merit, placing our institute among the selected few following the same best practice. In recognition of his outstanding contributions to education and his selfless service to the community, he has been honored with the prestigious Meera Bhayandar Ratna Award. He is also the recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Global HR Excellence Awards, acknowledging his contribution to the field of education.
It is my distinct privilege to introduce our Honorary Secretary of Anil Dalmia Educational Society, Shri Shailesh Dalmia, a commerce graduate from HR College of Commerce and Economics and a law graduate from the Government Law College, Mumbai. Sir has been actively guiding the Anil Dalmia Educational Society since 1997. Under his visionary leadership, this society has grown into a premier educational group, now encompassing 6 schools of excellence. His commitment to educational excellence and nation building earned him recognition from the Honorable President of India at Rashtrapati Bhavan in 2014 for his significant contributions to the society. Under his transformational leadership, the Anil Dalmia Educational Society was honored with the Social Welfare and Growth Award at the CSR Journal Excellence Awards in 2019, presented by the then Union Cabinet Minister Shri Narendra Singh Tomar. In 2022, the Society's commitment to academic excellence was further recognized when it received the award of Best School with Academic Excellence in Maharashtra from the then Governor of Maharashtra, Shri Bhagat Singh Koshyari.
Taking this event forward, I now introduce the Vice President of NL Dalmia Educational Society, Mr. Mudit Dalmia. Sir is an industrial engineer from the Northeastern University in Boston, USA. His remarkable academic achievements include securing a Dean's List distinction and topping the program in the university, showcasing his dedication and exceptional performance during his university years. During his career, Mr. Dalmia worked at SAS, a leading analytics solution company, where he held the roles of data scientist and senior technical consultant. In these capacities, he contributed significantly to various high-profile projects, demonstrating his expertise and problem-solving skills in the field. He currently holds the position of Vice President at NL Dalmia Educational Society and is actively involved in the establishment of the PGDM Business Analytics Program for the NL Dalmia Institute of Management Studies and Research. His extensive experience in the field of data science and technical consulting at SAS equips him with valuable insights and industry know-how, which he channels into the development of a cutting-edge curriculum that meets the evolving demands of the business analytics landscape. His commitment, profound expertise, and leadership stand as the program's vital pillars.
Don't judge your journey by the harvest you reap, but judge your journey with the seeds you sow. And that's a lesson imparted to us by Professor Dr. Seema Saini. Ma'am is the CEO of NL Dalmia Educational Society, overseeing a network of NL Dalmia Educational Society's prestigious institutions. Dr. Saini has an impressive academic background, holding a master's degree and a PhD in economics from Mumbai University and a master's in human resource development from Xavier University, Cincinnati, USA. In addition to her academic qualifications, she has earned several professional certifications, including in project management from the Project Management Institute, Pennsylvania, USA, excellence in higher education from the Indian School of Business, Hyderabad, strategic leadership from the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, and design thinking and innovation from Harvard Business School. With over 33 years of experience in the education sector, Dr. Saini has made significant contributions to the growth and success of NL Dalmia Educational Society. She is an independent director at a public limited company and an honorary member of the National Advisory Council of the SME Chamber of India. Dr. Saini has also served on the board of the Cincinnati chapter of the American Society of Training and Development in the USA. She is also part of the panel of inspectors by the Council for the Indian Certificate School Exams and serves as the Vice President of the Association of ICC Schools of Maharashtra region. Dr. Saini's extensive focus remains on the continuous development of both students and faculties, ensuring that the institution consistently strives for excellence, innovation, and leadership. We welcome you, ma'am. I now request Professor Dr. Seema Saini to kindly enlighten us with a few words.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. A very good morning to one and all. It's a great pleasure to welcome all the dignitaries today, our members on the dais and students present here. I warmly welcome Professor Ramesh Bhatt, Dr. Ramesh Bhatt, Member Managing Council, NL Dalmia Institute of Management Studies and Research, Dr. Joyita Chatterjee, Dean Academics, Mr. Amol Desai, Head PGDM Business Analytics, our respected heads of departments and esteemed faculty members, and of course, a special welcome to our guest of honor, Mr. Mangalam Malu, anchor and deputy editor of CNBC TV 18. Thank you, sir, for joining us today. It's a great honor to have our alumni back with us on the inaugural day. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation. A very warm welcome to our dear, dear students. We are delighted to have you with us. On behalf of the NL Dalmia Educational Society and on my own behalf, I extend a heartfelt welcome to each one of you at the NL Dalmia Institute of Management Studies and Research. As you begin this new chapter of your academic journey, you're stepping into a world of opportunities, learning, and personal growth. This is the time to explore new ideas, challenge yourself, and build lifelong connections and network, and prepare yourself for a successful career ahead. Make the most of every opportunity, strive for excellence, and always uphold your values. It is now my privilege to introduce to you the NL Dalmia Educational Society, which was founded in 1982 by our founder chairman, late Shri Niranjan Lalji Dalmia. With a vision to make quality education accessible and meaningful, the visionary philanthropist firmly believed that education is the most powerful instrument for transforming individuals and society. Born in 1915 in a small village in Bhiwani, Haryana, Shri Niranjan Lalji Dalmia came from humble beginnings. Despite financial hardships, his determination to pursue education never wavered. Through hard work and academic brilliance, he earned scholarships, many of which he generously passed to students who were more deserving. He graduated as a gold medalist in law and secured the second rank in Indian Civil Service examination. Then when it was under the British, India was under the British rule. His life was guided by the vision of integrity, hard work, humility, perseverance, and service to society. These timeless values continue to inspire and guide every institution under the NL Dalmia Educational Society. Today, under the society, we proudly nurture 6 institutions of education and excellence: NL Dalmia High School, the NL Dalmia College of Arts, Commerce and Science, NL Dalmia Institute of Management Studies and Research, the NL Dalmia Research Center, NL Dalmia Global MBA Program, and the NL Dalmia Center for Distance Learning and Online Management Studies. NL Dalmia Institute commenced its journey in 95 with just 60 students. Today, the institute nearly has 1,000 students and a strong alumni network of over 9,000 professionals, many of whom occupy leadership positions in reputed organizations across India and abroad. With the vision of becoming a world-class management institution, we have consistently invested in world-class infrastructure, technology, faculty and research, and experiential learning. This unwavering commitment has earned the institute national and international recognition, and today, the institution is regarded as one of India's leading business schools and one of Mumbai's most preferred management institutes. What truly sets NL Dalmia apart is that it is guided by an educational first philosophy, not a business model. In keeping with the vision of our founder chairman, our chairman Shri Shiv Kumarji Dalmia, who took a remarkable decision to voluntarily relinquish and abolish the management quota. This reflects our unwavering commitment to merit, to fairness and equal opportunity for every deserving student. We are proud to be the first B school in Mumbai and Maharashtra to have voluntarily relinquished the management quota, reinforcing our belief that quality education should always be driven by merit and service to society. Awards and recognitions, they are a testimony to the dedication of our students, our faculty, staff, alumni, and management. Over the years, the Institute has earned several prestigious accolades and ranking from leading organizations such as Education World, Times Education, Career 360, Business Standard, and many other national ranking agencies, reflecting our continued pursuit of excellence in management education. We are an ISO 9001-2015 certified institute, approved by AICT, HRD Ministry of India, Government of India, and are permanently affiliated to the University of Mumbai. We are a nationally and internationally accredited institution. The institute is MBA accredited and is also accredited with A+ grade by the NAC in its second cycle. We have received the coveted South Asian Quality Standards accreditation. We are rated A triple star by CRISIL at the state level and A double star at the national level. Currently, our AACSB accreditation is underway, and we've submitted our ICER, which is the initial self-evaluation report. All our PGDMs have MBA equivalents granted by Association of Indian Universities. The institute offers courses in PGDM with specializations in finance, marketing, HR, and operations, and PGDM finance, PGDM Business Analytics, along with a PhD program which is affiliated to the University of Mumbai. We also offer an executive education for working professionals, online and distance learning program to meet the evolving needs of the students and the working professionals. Guided by a vision of providing value-based management education with a global outlook and a social conscience, we have established academic collaborations with leading universities across the USA, UK, Canada, and South Korea. These partnerships provide students with opportunities for global exposure through exchange programs, collaborative research, and international learning experience with its COIL program, which are included in the classroom activities. One of the greatest strengths is experiential learning. NL Dalmia is home to Mumbai's first and South Asia's largest standalone Bloomberg Finance Lab, equipped with 24 Bloomberg terminals. As India's first Bloomberg experiential learning partner, the institute equips students with global recognition, certifications such as Bloomberg Market Concepts, Bloomberg Analysis, and Bloomberg ESG, providing hands-on exposure to meet real-time finance markets. To further enhance employability, the institute offers a wide range of industry-focused certification programs in areas such as data analytics, fintech, investment banking, marktech, digital marketing, HR analytics, Tableau, Power BI, equity research, banking, and so on, ensuring that our students graduate with industry-relevant knowledge and skills. Research, innovation, and social responsibility, they're integral to our culture. The Institute has made significant strides in research and community engagement. We have successfully completed research projects for the Maharashtra Police and continue to contribute to nation building through specialized management programs for INS, or customized programs rather, for INS Hamla. Currently, a project on air quality index with Mira Bhayandar Municipal Corporation is under progress. Our flagship My Social Responsibility Initiative, which we call as MSR, reflects our commitment to creating socially responsible leaders. Through the adoption of Kongaon village in Palghar district, we have undertaken impactful initiatives in education, skill development, healthcare, and hygiene, and environmental sustainability. These sustained efforts have earned Kongaon the Taluka Sundar Gaon Puraskar, along with a grant of rupees 10 lakhs from Zilla Parishad. The initiatives reflect our belief that management education is not about creating successful professionals, but also about nurturing responsible leaders who contribute meaningfully to the society. The success of NL Dalmia is built on the vision and commitment of 4 generations of the Dalmia family. From our founder, late Shri Niranjan Lalji Dalmia, to our chairman, Shri Shiv Kumarji Dalmia, our honorary secretary, Mr. Sailesh Dalmia, and the vice president, Mr. Mudit Dalmia. Their leadership, dedication, commitment have helped transform the institute into one of India's leading business schools. Dear students, today you have become a part of this rich legacy. Over the coming years, you will not only acquire knowledge, but also develop the values, the leadership qualities, professional skills that are needed to succeed in a dynamic global environment. I encourage each one of you to dream big, remain curious, embrace every learning opportunity, and make the most of your time at NL Dalmia. Once again, I extend a warm welcome to you all, and I wish you a memorable, enriching, and a successful journey ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. Dear audience, now is the time to introduce Professor Dr. Ramesh Bhatt, Member of Managing Council at NL Dalmia Institute of Management Studies and Research. Dr. Bhatt brings with him decades of distinguished experience in higher education leadership, governance, and institutional development. Most recently, he served as Vice Chancellor of SVKM's NMIMS, deemed to be University, Mumbai. Prior to this, he spent over 25 years as Professor of Finance at the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, and has contributed extensively through academic, advisory, and governance roles. He holds a PhD and a master's degree from the Delhi School of Economics, University of Delhi, a bachelor's honors degree in commerce from Hansraj College, University of Delhi, and is a Takemi Fellow in International Health from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health. A distinguished academic leader and institution builder, Dr. Bhatt has worked closely with educational institutions, policy makers, industry bodies, and corporate boards, contributing meaningfully to higher education and public government. I now invite Sir to address the gathering and share his wisdom.
This will not work? Thank you. Shri Shivkumar ji, Dalmia, Shri Shailesh ji, Mr. Muddit Dalmia, Dr. Seema Saini, our chief guest of the day, Mr. Mangalam Malu, who happens to be our alumni also, Jyotika Chatterjee, Dean of Programs, Head of the Departments, members of faculty, and most importantly, the incoming batch of 26-28 for the MBA programs. Well, it is an honor to be here today to celebrate the day when you are beginning your MBA journey. And I am sure that this is going to be very fascinating time for you. The kind of learning you are going to get over the 2 years and the way you are going to shape your career opportunities, your personality, your character, and everything. Well, I have spent most of my life in the classrooms teaching corporate finance and various allied subjects. And I can tell you that no day in an academic calendar carries more significance than this one when you are just entering into the business school. I think it is because today is the day when the slate is completely clean and everything is before you. So my hearty congratulations on making to the NL Dalmia Institute of Management and Research. And I'm sure that this will be a proud moment for your parents and everyone, your family, watching you and knowing you that you are here to start your MBA journey. And rightly so, I think you have earned this distinction of being the student of the institution, which has the legacy worth respecting. For 3 decades and more than 3 decades, this institution has stood for something increasingly rare in management education, the conviction that values come before everything else. That education is not merely the transfer of knowledge, but the formation of character. And this legacy is now yours to carry forward. I am sure that you are going to take forward this legacy with great consciousness and with great dedication. Well, every generation of MBA students who joined the program all over the country today or this week or last week, because most of the MBA programs have started around this time. Every time they join, and I have been welcoming number of batches joining the program at my institutions I have worked. And every time we tell them that this is the time when you are joining, it is unprecedented kind of a time and unprecedented changes the world is facing today. But I may tell you that I think in my previous years, last almost 30, 40 years, it has been a kind of an polite statement we were making to the students. I think today, when you are joining the program, this is certainly true, because you know the kind of an unprecedented changes which are happening around the globe, geopolitical situation, the economics changing, and the advent of the kind of technologies which are coming up. I think it is shaking the everything beneath us. So we have to be really prepared for this kind of a thing. I remember a couple of years back when I was addressing similar gathering, I think in 2023, when the ChatGPT had just arrived at, and I told the students that this generative AI has come now, but when you test it, the systems cannot reason, they cannot solve the problems, they cannot think abstractly, they cannot comprehend the ideas at that time in 2023. And I cautioned the students that I think the time is not far that when everything what we have said about the technology is going to come true. And I think today when you look at the technology, the way it is shaping up, I think the ground has shifted below us. Today we are not talking about the chatbots that answer the questions. We are talking about the agentic AI systems that not only plan, that use the tools which are available to them, and many times without knowing the person who is using it, what tools they are using. They execute multi-step tasks, check their own performance against the goals which they set for themselves, and complete the assignments that once looked may take several weeks or several months. I think you would have watched many advertisements coming these days on the television. How is the work life changing because of the technology? A young graduate entering into the organization and challenging the existing employees who says to their bosses that they will take 4 weeks to complete this assignment, and the young graduate tells them that he can solve this in 4 hours time, kind of a thing. Now that is the kind of situation we are in today. And some of the fields are changing dramatically, finance, analytics, because of this technology. What we see today that what the machines could not do in 2023, I think most of the machines and most of the computers are able to do it today in 2026. So I have been just thinking about this, and many times I put myself as a student sitting over there and ask this question that if machines can do that analysis, what exactly are we going to learn after joining the MBA program? What is there for us in this program which we are going to learn, since the machines can do everything? Let me answer with something what happened in front of our own eyes last 2, 3, 4 years. I think if you recollect, in December 2024, those who follow the sports and the chess very closely, Gukesh Damiraju, an 18-year-old from Chennai, became the youngest world chess champion in the history. Now just pause and think about what chess is today. Now chess engines and chess softwares are everywhere, and many of us and have also experienced that they are unbeaten by any human and have been so there for last 2 decades or so. In fact, some of the best chess champions lost their games when they played with the computers. Now, is it not that something interesting that Gukesh would be also using these machines to learn and to train himself? The free software or the machines or the engines, Gukesh's own laptop would defeat him and would have defeated him many times. And even the Magnus Carlsen who lost that game. And they would have lived that kind of an experience for several times, getting defeated from the machine. If we go by this machine logic, the chess should have been dead by now actually, but it is still live. I think chess today is much more popular than what it was in earlier periods. And in December 2024, much of the world, in fact, looked at and watched the 2 human beings sit across on a board and playing that game. Now, having gone through that experience of learning with the machines, what was different when they were playing the game? And that, I think, help us to understand that how to deal with the machines, how to deal with the AI, how to deal with the technology in our lives. The engine evaluation, or when the softwares or the machines are playing the games, it is not a game. Because at no time the courage is visible or seen under a ticking clock. No time the judgment when your preparation runs out actually. Or nerve at a move 40, for example, when he was playing. Resilience after losing the very first game of the match, which he lost first game and came back as the winner later on. Now I think we need to really carefully examine that how he became champion. Gukesh trained with the engine every single day perhaps, and every day he would have lost 1,000 times. Now it is not as if that he used the machine to replace him. It was his companion, it was his partner in the process of learning, and with the simple goal that he will be never replaced by this machine. If he had played with this kind of an objective, or any time you use the technology, there is always this feeling that technology is going to replace you. But if you use the technology with the goal that it is not going to replace you, then you have a winning game with you. But I think what the machine did was, and the softwares and the computers and AI did was, made him stronger precisely because he kept doing the thinking himself. I think the day you stop thinking and without thinking start using the technology, I think you are simply handing over everything to the technology, and you are replacing yourself by that technology. So remember that if you have to ensure that in the coming world where the technology is going to be very dominant and you have to keep going, make sure that you never leave this thinking part to the computers, never leave the thinking part to the technology. Always retain the thinking part with yourself. Then you can, I think, develop the strategies to use the technologies as your companion, as your partner in the learning, and so on and so forth. So, it is not the engine, it is not the software, it is not the AI, it is not the technology, it is the people. I think if you surrender with the technology and deliver and delegate all your thinking to them, then I think you have lost the game. Make sure that you remember this. It is not the technology, it is the people, and every day you keep on remembering this for next 2 years. The AI systems you will see and you will use are the most powerful analytical machines today. And everything is in the manager's hands today, your hands today. And they will keep on improving. It's not as if their development will stop. And it will improve much faster than what one can imagine. And while you will be going through your MBA program, the improvements will be much, much more significant semester by semester. You will be witnessing that every time, every day. But the machine, however strong, does not choose the mission. Who decides the mission? It is the user who decides the mission. It is you who will decide the mission. And it does not decide what problem is worth solving. Who decides whether the problem is worth solving? You decide that. Machine does not decide that whose interests matter. Who will decide? You will decide that whose interests will matter. Machine will not decide what risk is acceptable or not acceptable. Who will decide? You will decide what risk is acceptable. Machines will not decide what is right, what is wrong. Who is going to decide? You are going to decide what is right. So don't leave this control and don't delegate this control to the machines, to the AI, to the technology. Now your MBA, what you are going to go through is not a training to compete with the machines or to AI or to technology. It is training to be the player the machine cannot replace. And what is the characteristic of the player? He has not delegated these areas to the AI or to the technology. So keep them with yourself. But this brings me to one very important question that, okay, I have understood that I am not going to delegate my thinking to the AI, to the machines. I am going to retain the power of that decision making with me all the time, what to do with the machines and what problems I solve. An important question which is you have to ask yourself that, okay, I have understood this, but can you tell me what is my mission when I am doing my MBA? There's a lot of, I think, nonsense going around in the social media. Some people saying that the stupids do the MBA, right? I think you have to just ignore that and listen to what I am going to say. I think it all boils down to the fact that defining your mission when you are in this program for next 2 years, what is going to be my mission in doing the MBA program? Have you ever thought, because you have taken this decision to join the MBA program, have you thought about that? What is going to be my mission? What is going to be my goals of doing the MBA? Of course, many of you will say that to get the good placement. But that is the milestone, it is not the mission, right? Now I will reflect on, I think you should reflect on this question critically, because I think this is something very critical at this juncture of your life. You are going to spend 2 years on MBA. Make sure that you have very great clarity about your mission. When I go to the medical school and I ask any student what is his mission of pursuing the medical education, he will always tell me that my mission is to create health and good living of the persons. And if you go to the law school, if you ask what is your mission, they will say our objective is to, our mission is to make sure that we deliver the justice protect the rights. If you go to the School of Architecture, you ask, what is your mission? They will say, our mission is to build quality environment, quality housing, quality structures. If you go to the accounting school like CA programs, what is your mission? They will say, our mission is to safeguard the assets of the organizations. But when you go to the management school, you ask them, what is your mission? Can you articulate mission in the same way as the public health people, law people, accounting people, architecture people are able to articulate? Now I'm going to help you. I think you keep on thinking on this. Maybe you can refine it further. But certainly it is not the question of getting the good placement. As I mentioned, that placement is just a milestone. It is not the mission. So when you focus on the management education and its essence, and that's what most of the social media is missing, that what is the essence of that management education, you are going to be trained to do one very simple thing, and it is to create value. Your mission throughout your life after this education is going to be create value. Now you say that, what is this value? It is again a kind of an vague term. Is it shareholders' wealth? Is it market price of the shares? That's what I want to create? No. I think any problem which you face and you can fix it, you are creating some value. Any broken system you feel around and if you improve it, you are creating value. Any unfulfilled need in the society and you are able to deliver that, you are able to organize the resources, people, processes and technology to meet it, you are delivering the value. Management is the discipline of bringing together people and resources, create the systems, structures and channels that create value. Now that should be your mission over the next 2 years, which means that you have to get the deep understanding of what are the systems, what are the structures, what are the channels, what is the people management, what are the resources which we can put together. And resources are not just the money. Money is a one resource. But I think you have to also remember that in our times the mission carries a qualifier that is not now an optional. Because I think we have quite moved away from the pure mission of creating the wealth or profit maximization. So we say value creation with integrity. So also make it a qualifier that whatever you are going to do during the next 2 years, you are going to develop the understanding what systems are, what structures are, what processes are, what people management is, what decision making is, to create the value with integrity. So I think you must make it your North Star. Make ethical value creation your North Star. I'm sure that in this process, when you are trying to achieve this mission, you will be facing a lot of challenges. I think you have to navigate those challenges. And then students have been asking me this question that, okay, professor, you have told us what is the mission, but what are the kind of competencies I need to develop to be the value creator? Now, over the years, I've been now in this management education for almost 40 years. I summarized the competency matrix in an acronym called CASH, not C-A-S-H, but K-A-S-H. K stands for knowledge, A stands for attitudes, S stands for skills, and H stands for habits. You need to have a good mix of knowledge. Only knowledge will not help you to develop the competencies to make you value creator. If that was, I think AI will become the highest value creator today because AI has most of the knowledge. LLMs have the most of the knowledge. What is making you value creator? Because you have developed some skills. Skills to analyze the processes, skills to analyze the systems, skills to analyze the structure, skills to analyze the human behavior, and so on and so forth. But what one does with the knowledge, you cannot convert the knowledge into skills unless you have a good attitude and you have a good habits. So you have to make sure that you work on this equation, knowledge, attitudes, skills, and habits, and it works in a multiplicative manner in the sense that knowledge multiplied by attitude, multiplied by skills, multiplied by habits. A zero anywhere brings the whole system down. You will have no competency. A brilliant student but arrogant makes it zero because of the attitude. A skilled person but undisciplined makes it zero. If you are not disciplined, you will not be able to achieve it. Now, therefore, every day when you are going through the classes, you need to ask this question. And I think the first few sessions will help you to understand the balance sheet of the company. You have to also create a balance sheet, your own balance sheet of cash. Every day you have to ask this question, what have I added to this cash today? And believe me that I think this model, when we implemented at IIM Ahmedabad some 15, 20 years back, and we asked the students to prepare the Excel sheet and put this KASH and document every day what are they added. I think the feedback at the end was that it was really beneficial and effective for us to keep track what we are doing. And if you do not compound this cash on day-to-day basis, I think you will be wasting your time, you are wasting your effort, wasting your energy, and you will not be able to get anything. But in order to make sure that you are having effective cash, you have to make sure that you maintain your energy levels at 3 levels. At emotional level, your ability to stay inspired and mentally prepared. At intellectual level, the mindset that sees opportunity in what you are learning. And physical level, which I will put the most important thing, make sure that you get adequate sleep, you have good nutrition, and you have good exercise. I think these 3 are grossly neglected by many students, and they see the impact of that in later part of their lives. When you join this management school, remember that learning is a very high performance activity. Treat your body and mind as the infrastructure it runs on. Now here I must also warn you that this is not going to be very easy path. So make sure that because the learning is something which comes from the struggle. Unless you struggle, learning does not come. And I'm sure that there will be many students who have learned the music in their lives, or they are sports enthusiasts. They know that the music doesn't come on its own. Suppose I tell AI what are the notes of the Raga Yaman, obviously I will tell me these are the notes of the Raga Yaman, but it does not help me anywhere to play that raga to its fullest potential. So therefore, I think it is very important that you make sure that your learning journey follows certain principles. Come prepared to every class. And in my view, and there are scientific studies, if you come prepared for the class, your learning goes up at least by 40%. So make sure whenever you go to the class, you are well prepared for the class. I think when you are working in the groups and the teams, make sure that you are harnessing your leadership qualities, interpersonal skills. One very important habit I think which you need to form is the habit of reflection. And I'm going to tell you the story of one of my own students on this. Organize your time ruthlessly, become self-directed learner, and we were discussing in the morning that learning, unlearning, and relearning is something one has to be there. So your lifelong mission should be become the lifelong learner. And most important, dear students, this is Mumbai, keep distractions away. And when you feel that it has become too much, take long walk, listen to the music, talk to your family and friends. I think it creates a lot of dopamine, and dopamine is very good for the learning. Let me close with a conversation which I had recently with one of my students. Some months ago, I met one of my old students. He's now a man with family, with children. And he sat one day exactly where you are sitting today, about 3 decades back. And when I watched him in the class, he was the sharpest in the batch, quick with numbers, first to answer, and the one everyone expected to go very far in the life. He has had, by any reasonable measures, a good career. Anybody anticipated that? Now he has a senior title, a comfortable life, a family he is proud of. But that afternoon, over tea, he said something I have not been able to forget. He said, "Professor, 3 of my batchmates have become CEOs. I did not. And I keep telling myself that it is because of the luck." But then he added that, "But from the bottom of my heart, I know the difference was made in those 2 years when I was at the institute doing MBA. I spent those 2 years just doing enough. I prepared when there was a quiz only. I let my team carry me when the project bored me." So his projects were done by his friends. "I treated the program as a waiting room for the placement. The knowledge gap I could fix later. Whatever was the knowledge gap because of these deficiencies, I could fix some of it. But the habits I did not build then are bothering me even today. The habits of preparation, the habits of reflection, the habits of paying attention to the details, habits of making sure that whatever you do is the rigor, habit of carrying the team with you in our discussions. And Professor, these are exactly what has stopped me from becoming CEO. So if you do not develop the good habits right now, I think you will see the impact of that in your later life." And then he used a phrase that I think one day when I am going to write my memoir, I am going to put that as one of the chapters in my memoir. He said, "My career has its mysteries and regrets." Now, since we are meeting on this day when your slate is completely clean, I'm not telling you this story to frighten you. But I am telling you because on the 9th of July 2026, today, every one of you is exactly where he was, with the account unwritten. The difference between him and his batchmates who went all the way was not talent, was not knowledge. It was what they did daily, quietly, between this inauguration and their convocation. And don't think that you are sitting in a waiting room for the placement. Get into the action. develop good habits of reflection, preparation, bringing rigor in your approach, and so on, so forth. Play hard when you play, prepare hard when you prepare, learn hard when you are in the class. That is what builds the habit of working hard and working whole for the rest of your career. I think these 2 years are the single best investment window for your professional life. There is no vacation between now and 2028. Set your boundaries, but make sure that what you do within those boundaries is what matters most. You will leave this campus with far more than a degree. Lasting bonds with your professors and your classmates, and learning imbued with the accumulated energy and every batch that has walked these corridors before you. And we are privileged to have Mangalam with us today, who has walked this corridor about a decade back. A little more than that. So welcome to the bliss of learning, to the paradise of cash, and to the lifetime of nurturing the positive power of value creation with integrity. Happy learning, happy maximizing cash, happy pursuit of your value creation mission, and बहुत शुभकामनाएं for your learning journey in future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your meaningful and encouraging words.
Friends, let me introduce the guest of honor of today's event, our very own alumnus, Mr. Mangalam Malu, who is one of India's leading business journalist, financial market expert, and television anchor, especially known for his insightful coverage of the Indian corporate sector and capital market. Currently, Sir is serving as an associate editor and anchor at CNBC TV 18, providing his expertise on equity market, consumer businesses, FMCG, retail, automobiles, and corporate earnings. Over the years, he has conducted hundreds of interviews with India's most influential CEOs, entrepreneurs, investors, and policy makers, translating complex business developments into clear and actionable insights for investors and business leaders. Beyond television journalism, Sir is also passionate about entrepreneurship and innovation. He hosts the podcast Scaling Right, where he engages with founders and business leaders on building sustainable businesses, scaling enterprises, and navigating the realities of entrepreneurship. Through these conversations, he provides practical insights into leadership, growth strategies, and value creation. Recognized as one of the notable young voices in Indian business journalism, Sir has built a strong following among investors, management professionals, and students for his balanced analysis, data-driven approach, and engaging communication style. Today, we are privileged to welcome Mr. Mangalam Malu, who is also our alumni and whose experience at the intersection of finance, business, strategy, entrepreneurship, and media promises to offer valuable insights into India's rapidly evolving business landscape. I request Sir to please grace the stage and share his experience with us.
The first thing they say is you check whether your mic is working or not. And the second thing, you see whether the audience is asleep or not. You guys awake, right? Yeah? All right, lovely. So I have to say that I anchor shows that go on national TV, but I'm still very nervous when I stand here, because it reminds me of the day when I joined NL Dalmia way back in 2010. It's nearly more than 15 years, and I see myself in all of you guys. I see myself and my friends in all of you guys. 15, 16 years later, many things have changed. Many things still remain the same. But one thing that's remained constant is the presence of Mr. Shailesh Dalmia out here. And he's been looking the same, I must tell you, for the last 15 years or so. First up, both Neha and Stuti, thank you so much for the kind introduction that you've given for me. I'll try and live up to all the things that you've said about me, which I'm not too sure are, the truth. Part of it is exaggerated as well. We have incredible people out here. I was a little humbled and embarrassed as well because there were 3 doctors and I'm sitting right in the middle of all of them. Why I felt that I should be sitting there. But having said all of this, I got to tell you a few things. When I look back, some of the most important moments in your life, you don't realize they're very important. You only realize them in hindsight. Because you're so full of living that moment that you don't remember how important that moment is. The first day of B school is definitely one of those moments. I'll tell you why. Because from here on, this can actually be one of those moments where you think that, okay, it's an inflection point in my life. This could be one of those. And I'm not saying this will be one of those. The reason I'm saying this could be one of those is because this course is what you make of it. And since it's the season, let me talk about the rains. When it rains a lot, it rains equally for everyone, right? What it does to you depends on how big your size of the collection vessel is. If I'm standing in 300 mm rain with a small katora, I get this much. I can't blame the rain for not giving me so much. I'll have to ensure that I have the biggest tank to collect the most amount of water that I get from that rain. And B school is nothing else but that. Professor Bhatt did speak about, thinking of it as a ticket to your first job. I would liken that to standing under the rain with just a little bowl. This is not a ticket to your first job. The reason for that is because you can get your first job from the B school. You can get your first purchase with a great marketing campaign. I track the consumer space, she said. You can get your first purchase by a blitz of performance marketing, quick commerce, all these things that you do. You can get the best brand ambassador. You can get your first question by deploying any of these AI models that you're doing. But when you're on live TV, your first question is your preparation. The second question is your own knowledge, right? So the first job is just a milestone, like he said. But the second job is about your capability. The first purchase can happen through advertising, but the second and repeated purchases will only happen through the quality of the product. And that's what the B School program is like. Everyone's saying it. He alluded to the social media clip that went viral about B schools being stupid. I would suggest that choose wisdom over virality. Choose processes over hustle. Everyone, because it's the season and it's the cycle, is finding a lot of joy in creating startups, a lot of joy in making 100 crore ARRs, a lot of joy in getting the first funding, getting the first check. Can I give you some data? Only 2% of the startups cross 500 crores in sales. Hustle is great, but it does not scale. Jugaad is amazing, but process is scale. And we're here for scale. So the most important thing you got to do here when you're in MBA, you're not going to emerge on your graduation day as finance wizards or marketing wizards or any of those things. But you know what? The one thing that MBA teaches you is how to learn. And if you can learn how to learn, you are sorted for your life. Because Alvin Toffler, I memorized this name right now, he was an American futurist. I just memorized his name, but I remembered what he had said. He had said that the illiterate of the 21st century will not be someone who can't read or write, but the illiterate of the 21st century will be the person who can't learn, unlearn, and relearn. So those are factors that you gotta remember. And for me personally, having been here, I can tell you one thing. It is cross-functional learning that matters. NL Dalmia, being NL Dalmia, I have to recognize the stalwarts whose shoulders we're standing on. I remember Professor Naveen Bhatia, Professor Subramaniam, and Professor P.L. Arya. May their souls rest in peace. Very, very, very instrumental in shaping the person I am today, learning all these things. But NL Dalmia has always had this perception of being a finance-focused college, quantitative finance. You know, you don't get into finance, you do marketing. You don't get into finance or marketing, you do HR. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Do not get into the dogma of finance is good or marketing is not good or HR is not good or this is better than that. I can tell you with experience at my behest, when I started out, I thought maybe finance and marketing is what companies thrive on. But as age came by, it may not look on me, but I can tell you, as you scale, you realize that companies that really create value are the ones that have the strongest systems, strongest operations, and also the strongest HR principles. So do not look down upon anyone or do not look upon anyone else as any better or not. If the human body is a company, I can tell you, finance is its brain and backbone, marketing is its face, but operations and human resources are the soul, blood, and also, the heart of the company. You can't have just the strongest brain and a great face without a heart. That's a lifeless body. So focus on all these things. The other thing, just learn from every damn thing that you get in college. There are 300 people in this batch. 30% come from outside of Mumbai. You get to interact with them over 600 days. Learn one thing from your batchmates. By the end of this program, you're 300 skills richer. That's bigger than any other program that you get. And I remember some of the best friends that I have today are the ones that I've made somewhere in these corridors itself. So you got to learn from all these people. The second thing that you do is you just keep learning without figuring out where it will take me. I'll give you an example. I graduated in advertising, I graduated in marketing, and thereafter curiosity led me to do my CFA, MBA, whatever happened. One thing that I hadn't ever learnt in my life was the engineering side of things or even, operations management. But I remember very, very clearly, vividly, about 12 years ago, 13 years ago, my first operations management class, I was late by 1 minute. I went to Professor Pai. He said, Manglam, you're late by 1 minute. I said, sir, it's just 1 minute. Professor Pai that time told me that I worked for Hero Motocorp. Hero Motocorp on its assembly line made one bike every 15 seconds. So you've lost me 4 bikes. And each bike would give me a gross margin of 15,000 rupees. So it's not just 1 minute, it's 60,000 rupees. That stuck in my head and I became a stickler for punctuality. It may or may not have helped then, but I tell you what, when I got to CNBC TV 18, a 9:15 show cannot go at 9:16. That's what it does to you. You respect time, you learn from whatever comes your way. More importantly, everyone's speaking about artificial intelligence and that being a threat to people. That's not a threat. The bigger threat is natural stupidity. You can embrace AI, but do not please lose native intelligence. You can use it, master it, but do not let AI make you its servant. If I can go and put something on ChatGPT and that becomes the only thing that I do, then I am not using my native intelligence. To say it in a very crude way, kabhi apna bhi dimag laga lo. Simple as that. Because so long as you're doing it, you will have an edge over any technology. And here, I'm not here to give you any sort of gyan. What I'll do is, because of my unique position of being equidistant, both literally and metaphorically to this side and this side, I can give you some life hacks. And these are hacks that will help you find your edge. And out here, all you got to do is find your edge, right? And they're not going to be any major life-changing hacks. These are things that I've done myself, and I continue to do so myself. So if it's okay, you guys can take some of it. The first one is read. Read. I understand we're in this age of 15-second reels, everything that is online, everything is on your phones and all of that and stuff. Develop the patience to read. If you can read an entire book, you are better than 90% of the people. If you can read 2, you're better than 94% of the people. If you can read 3, you're better than 97% of the people. So the payoff is incredible. The college has an incredibly resourceful library. You'll ask me, what should I read, Manglam? I'll tell you, read anything that you want to. Because finance books will give you enough knowledge to speak at forums like this and sound intelligent. But whatever you read outside of finance is what will actually give you the edge to become intelligent. You don't just want to sound intelligent, you want to be intelligent. I can give you 100 Warren Buffett quotes, but if I'm not following them myself, then what's the point, right? So read what you like until you like to read. You can call NL Dalmia's geographic location as an impediment. I thought of it as an opportunity. It would take me about 1 hour on each side of travel. While coming in the morning, I would pick up the Economic Times, just read. While going back, I would pick up one of the books in the library, whatever I liked, and I read. I can tell you one thing, I read enough from my academic books, but a lot of the stuff that gave me an edge was reading beyond the academics as well. That creates interest, that will just make you a fuller person. So please, please, please make full use of the library. The second thing you do is be curious. I mean, the world is full of noises. The only way you navigate the noise around the world and cultivate your own edge is when you follow your inner Google Maps. And your inner Google Map is nothing but your own curiosity. If you're not curious about how a certain thing works, then what's the point? You know, I'll give you a simple example of how curiosity works. If you just thought of, okay, this mic, why is this mic a certain way? How much does it cost? Who are the people who are making these mics? Can there be a way to reduce those the cost of the mic? I'm just thinking aloud right now. And it's suddenly giving me 5, 6, 8 different ideas. Is there a listed company that makes these mics? When you're curious, you will ask questions. When you're asking questions, you will look for answers. When you're looking for answers, you'll get the answers before everyone else. And once you do that, you will identify trends before everyone else. And believe you me, you've got to just capture 1 or 2 mega trends in your life to make the difference between success and failure. Curiosity is very, very important. If you're not curious, you're not alive. And I guess one of the biggest reasons why, all the professors and all these guys look the way they do. Professors never seem to age because they're always learning and they're always curious. That's a hack. If you want to look young your entire life, just stay curious. And that's not a beauty hack that I'm giving. The third one is fitness. Learn a sport, play a sport, be focused on fitness. Why do I say that? Because you have 99 problems in your life until you have a health problem. Once you have a health problem, that becomes your only problem in life. Don't do that. Focus on fitness because the 21st century and beyond, your energy is going to be your currency. If I can do whatever my body wants me to do without thinking about whether I'll get tired, whether I'll be able to walk, whether I'll be able to do this or not, then I'm basically giving myself the opportunity to do as much as I can over a longer period of time, which over time compounds. You all will learn the power of compounding here. Everything compounds, not just returns. You learn today, it compounds over 10 years. You're fit today, it compounds over 10 years. And those 10 years will be the difference between who took care of themselves and who didn't take care of themselves. So you got to be fit in some way or the other. I'm not saying you go out and immediately, sign up for High Rocks and all of that and stuff. But at least be basic fit. We spoke about Warren Buffett. I'll give you an anecdote. Warren Buffett, he stood in a class in University of Columbia and he asked the students, if I was to buy all you guys your dream cars, which one would those cars be? Everyone raised their hand. Someone said a Mercedes, someone said a McLaren, someone said a Ferrari. Everyone said whatever they wanted to. Then Warren Buffett came up with a condition. He said, my condition is that's the only car that you will be driving your entire life. Suddenly all these answers changed. To what? To Volvos, to Toyotas, to all of those. Why is that? Because when you want something to last long, you want it to be sturdy. And your body is the one car that you will be driving your entire life. Ensure that it is in prime condition. The other thing that fitness and sport do is they teach you how to lose without being a loser. Sport is nothing but voluntary submission to arbitrary constraints. Why do I call it arbitrary constraints? You're playing badminton. It's one of the most arbitrary sports in the world. Two people across the net hitting shuttlecocks and then trying to make an arbitrary line and deciding who's won, who's not, right? But you're voluntarily submitting to that. When you're voluntarily submitting to arbitrary constraints, you are involuntarily learning how to live with any constraints in life. So when you're preparing for real world problems, you will have an athlete mindset. And in the new age, you need an athlete mindset. The athlete mindset is basically very confident in approach, but bloody humble in processes and preparation. You watch Virat Kohli on the ground, looks arrogant, brash, confident. You know why? Because he's worked very, very hard when he was outside of the ground. So be an athlete. The third thing you do is embrace or enjoy some form of art, creativity. The 21st century, when ChatGPT and Claude and all the artificial intelligence will bring you science from everywhere else, art is what will shape the world. Science makes the world, art shapes the world. And once you focus on art, some form of art, it could be music, it could be cinema, it could be paintings, it could be poetry, it could be literature, you will understand taste. And once you cultivate what makes a certain thing good or bad, the taste will make you a differentiator from what's good or what's bad. And once you keep doing all these things over a period of time, they compound. And you become a person who will be known to have a certain sense of what the consumer is doing, what the consumer wants, what the people want, what the room wants. Many, many, many people just can't read the room. Cultivate taste. Watch people perform to know what works, what doesn't work. And finally, most importantly, learn how to get bored. Life's going to be very, very, very boring. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to motivate you. Everyone says that, necessity is the mother of invention. No one was curious enough to ask who's the father. Right? The father of invention is actually boredom. Because if you have a necessity but you don't have the time to think, then you can't think of solutions. In this hyper active world where there is so many sensory overloads at every point in time, the power of boring is just brilliant, and it is very, very, very understated. We go back to the athlete mindset. Last year, if I was speaking, I would speak about Rohit Sharma, I would speak about Virat Kohli. But this year, just as I was speaking, I looked up some numbers of Vaibhav Suryavanshi. Exciting player, right? Excitement is an exception, boredom is the norm. You all would agree that no one more exciting than Vaibhav Suryavanshi has hit the T20 world in the last few years? Can I hear a yes? Yes. Or a no? Whatever it works. Yeah? I just want to make sure that you guys are all awake. So, I was looking at some data. Vaibhav Suryavanshi so far has faced 685 balls in his T20 career. Guess how many sixes he's hit? 138. Great, right? It's great by a mile as compared to someone else. You guys can look at that, be very happy with that. But you know what I look at? That he has had to wait for 5 balls before hitting a 6. So he did nothing for 5 balls, that also. He hit 116 fours in 685 balls that he played. So he's obviously hit less fours than 6s. So he's had to do nothing for 4 balls or 5 balls before he hit a 4 or a 6. You club both of them. Consider a boundary ball as an exciting ball. He still had to wait for 3 balls before he hit a boundary. So 66% of his playing time was just nudging along. You guys have to keep nudging along. The one thing that will make you edgy over everyone else is you have to love the nudging along. Everyone, 99% of their lives will be boring. You just have to start falling in love with that boring. Because if it's boring to you, it's boring to everyone else, people will slowly bow out. But if it's interesting to you, then those who are bored will get out. And that's what, over a period of time, will cultivate your edge. Right? So, that's, I guess, pretty much that I have to say. Apart from the fact that, trust you me, I have come here for the induction program, but I will be checking on your progress over the next 2 years, periodically by calling all these people. And if they're kind enough to call me on the convocation, before that, I would like to meet all of you all to check on the progress as well. So if there's a little bit of a difference that I can make through these hacks, and I see that you guys have, immersed yourself into this ecosystem, then it'll be great. Why do I say that? Because, it's a privilege that you guys are getting this opportunity to learn. This ecosystem is very, very resourceful, and this environment is very conducive. You're getting 2 whole years of your life committed to learning through and through. And you have the fortune of age by your side as well. So after this, if you all do not succeed, then it's a you problem. That's all I'll say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are truly, truly grateful for your inspiring and thought-provoking words. And I am sure not only these students, but everybody else is going to take back those life hacks today with them home. Can we have a huge round of applause for sir?
I request our Honorary Secretary, Sir Mr. Shailesh Dalmia, to present a token of appreciation to Mangalam, sir.
Thank you, sir. As we conclude this memorable inauguration ceremony, we hope that today's inspiring addresses and words of wisdom have ignited a sense of purpose, ambition, and excitement in each one of you here.
To our new students, today marks the beginning of an extraordinary chapter in your lives. The next 2 years will challenge you, inspire you, and transform you in ways you may not yet imagine. Embrace every opportunity, learn with curiosity, lead with integrity, and make the most of every experience that NL Dalmia has to offer.
On behalf of our institute, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to our honorable chairman, respected members of the governing council, distinguished guests, esteemed faculty, non-teaching staff, parents, and all those who have graced this occasion with their presence.
We also thank our chief guest for sharing invaluable insights and inspiring our students as they embark on this new journey. Your presence has made this occasion truly special and memorable.
As Helen Keller once said, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. May the spirit of collaboration, continuous learning, and excellence guide each one of us in the years ahead. To formally express our gratitude to everyone who made this day special, I would now like to call Aditya Mishra to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Shruti. First of all, a heartfelt gratitude to our guest of honor and cherished alumni, Mr. Malu, for gracing this inauguration ceremony and sharing his inspiring journey real-world insights, and thoughtful words have truly set the tone for a meaningful start to our PGDM program. We sincerely thankful to Mr. Sailesh Dalmia for his unwavering support and visionary leadership. So, your guidance continues to inspire excellence across the institution. We would also like to express our gratitude to Mr. Milad Dalmia for his dynamic vision and dedicated efforts towards the institute's growth, which have truly been inspiring for all of us. We are grateful to Professor Dr. Seema Sami for her continuous encouragement. Ma'am, your dedication to innovation and holistic development helps drive our institution forward. A special note of thanks to Dr. Ramesh Bhatt. Sir, your presence today and your encouraging words have added great value to this occasion and set a strong foundation for our students as they begin their academic journey. I would also like to extend heartfelt thanks to our Dean Academics, HODs, faculties, non-teaching staff for their continuous support. We sincerely thank the Induction Organizing Committee led by Professor Anand Dutra sir for his guidance in making this event a big success. We thank all the student volunteers and everyone who worked behind the scene to make this event memorable for each one of us. To all the newly inducted students, welcome once again. Your journey has just begun, and we are confident with your curiosity, energy, and commitment, you'll make the most of the opportunities that lie ahead. I now request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
I would request all the students to be seated in their places for further instruction and let the dignitaries, faculty and non-teaching members leave the auditorium first.
Hello, hello.